I've realized something important about life. And when you've been through real struggles, the noise of the world stops mattering. People think I worry about their opinions of me, their judgments, their projections, but the truth is I've already survived things most people could not imagine. I've survived things and symptoms that people wouldn't last one day carrying. I've battled a chronic illness that left me barely able to walk to the mailbox because my heart rate would be through the roof. This is when I first was diagnosed. I lived in an abusive household where meals were cooked for everyone but me, where I was scapegoated and treated like I didn't matter. I dated an addict, watched him OD in front of me. I carried the weight of abusive relationships starting as a teenager. I lived with anxiety my entire life. And when I needed compassion and support the most, my own family chose judgment instead. And that's why I don't waste my energy on petty drama. That's why I don't crumble under projections, because I face real life pain and I know it actually matters. Money doesn't matter the way people think it does. Even wealthy people will admit that, because money can't buy you compassion, money can't fix betrayal, money can't heal your body when you're sick. I had to learn that the hard way. When I was stripped of the ability to work, when I was left to fend for myself, I realized my value isn't in a paycheck. That's why I made an OF account in 2021, because I had to eat. I had to take care of myself, and I don't regret it because survival is nothing to be ashamed of. The ad experience taught me that things people chase, money, status, validation, don't matter in the end. What matters is love, compassion, and God. I'm not bitter about any of it. Everything I went through taught me who I am on a deeper level. It showed me exactly who other people are too. And then I realized that even in the middle of pain, there's a loving God who never left me. And that changed everything. Because you can lose money, you can be betrayed by family, you can be judged by strangers, but God's love is something that can never be taken away, and that's what really matters. So I'm not worried about the noise, and I'm not worried about people and their opinions. I've endured too much to let surface level things shake me. My story isn't one of bitterness, it's one of survival, growth, and faith. And if there's one thing I've learned, it's this, that there are things in life that can't be bought. Things like compassion, peace, resilience, and love. And that's why I chose to carry forward, and that's what makes me who I am. And that's why I'll always stand stronger than the people who ever tried to break me. It wasn't until I was stripped of being able to work, stripped of being able to make money, that I realized it's not about money. It was sickness, it was heartbreak, it was betrayal that changed me. My value is not in money. It's not in my family that betrays me. It's not in the approval of those online. My worth is in God. When you walk in truth, you just move differently. You don't beg people to understand you. You stop chasing people that don't treat you right, and you stop needing validation from the world. When you've been through actual trauma and heartbreak and illness, you realize everything else is just noise. And that's why I try not to complain, even when I have every reason to, because complaining is low intelligence and it feels out of touch with reality. Because if you really knew what suffering felt like, you wouldn't waste your breath whining about little things. This is my walk. This is what I survived. This is why I move the way I move. I've been through hell and I actually know what matters. When I was sick and struggling, they scapegoated me, they looked down on me, they whispered behind my back, and when I needed their compassion the most, they had none to give. And that right there will change you. They'll make you realize most people don't actually know what empathy is. That's why I say I don't relate to most people, because if you've never been through that kind of betrayal, you just don't get it. Even today, I'm making this video. I'm very symptomatic. Most days I'm resting. Most days I'm bed rotting because my body just demands it. I don't see it as a weakness anymore like I used to, because I know my life still has meaning. My voice still has power. I'm enduring every single day, and I'm choosing to shine. I've survived things that most of you would not last a day in. I'm still here creating, thriving, loving. I've got God who carries me, and a light that no one can copy, and a story that proves my strength every single day. I didn't get compassion. I got judgment. People whispering. I know people who have POTS that go to work. My family brushed it off. Well, what did the doctors say? They would say. If my suffering didn't count till I got a stamp of approval. That's the part of me that will always blow my mind. That instead of love, I was met with suspicion and gossip, and yet here I am, still loving, creating, and being me because my life is bigger than a diagnosis. Disability isn't just handed out. Chronic illness is not something that you can fake. And the lack of compassion that I face from people says more about them than it ever did about me. My strength is not to find whether I broadcast my illness. Disability isn't some easy pass. It takes confirmation what you're already noticing in your body. Even with all the proof, people still will refuse to give you compassion. Evidence never changes a hard heart. The beauty is, you don't need other people's validation to have healing. Even with proof that I'm sick, I still chose judgment and distance. For a long time, I thought I needed their support to heal. I really did. I thought if they just would show me compassion and stand by me, I'd finally be okay, that I would start to heal. My body would get out of survival mode. But life taught me different. I've had to learn the hard way that I can't depend on anyone, not even as somebody with POTS, somebody who has autoimmune struggles, not even at my weakest. And as painful as that was, it built something in me. It made me realize that my strength, my survival, and my healing comes from within and from God, not from people who are never willing to show up for me. The truth sets you free when you stop expecting it and you start walking in your own strength. Even before I got a diagnosis of POTS, I was always having panic attacks and anxiety struggles. So when I was barely able to function, when I was sick, I was in the emergency room all the time, not because of the illness itself, but because the lack of love and warmth in that house was breaking me down. That was my body's reaction to the coldness I was living in every day. I was denied basic support and compassion, and it pushed my nervous system into survival mode 24/7. And then I've come to realize something about myself on a deeper level. I care about intimacy, real love, and I know I'm worthy of real love. Not conditional love, not fake love, not love I have to beg for. Healing your nervous system and getting out of fight or flight and healing yourself of chronic illness is possible. It's not about magically trying to fix your symptoms and manage them, not just having enough salt in your body and compression socks. It's about slowly teaching your brain and your spirit that love exists, that you can be safe. After abuse, after the scapegoating, after chronic illness, I'm choosing to rewire my brain and my body. A lot of people have to rewire their brains after trauma. It's really hard to do that. It takes repetition. Healing is not pretending the past didn't happen. It's just about teaching your nervous system something new. It's about even after everything you've been through, you're still worthy of safety and love and kindness. Family, haters, can't give you love and kindness. Give it to yourself and let God give it to you. It's not about forcing the symptoms to go away. It's about surrounding yourself with love and kindness. The whole system starts to believe it. Getting sick was so devastating. I can't even tell you guys how devastated I was. It broke me. It broke my spirit. Getting sick broke my spirit. It gave me so much wisdom I never would have had otherwise. It pushed me into studying, to reflecting, to making Jesus Christ my Lord and Savior. Connecting the dots with nervous system and family and relationship dynamics. Things like quantum physics I would study, turn my pain into clarity. My story is not just survival, it's transformation. Through a lot of hard things, but I'm still standing. I came out wiser and deeper and clearer than ever before.